Oh man, no Doomsday, no Lex Luthor, no street fight in the middle of Smallville. Just a guy from a small rural town in Kansas coming to terms with the fact that his secret is still hurting his family and coming out to the world. I like this episode. I love this episode a whole lot. Um, as somebody who has read, I'm not gonna say that I've read every single Superman comic, but pre New 52, New 52, DC Rebirth, Action Comics, the current Absolute Superman run. Who's also watched all of the Christopher Reeve movies, all of the Henry Cavill ones, who's familiar with the Dean Cain one that came on like TNT or UPN when I was a kid, like super early in the morning as like a rerun. Who's familiar with the Tom Welling version of the character. Tyler Holshin is the definitive Superman. And what I mean by that is he is the only Superman that we've received on screen that is complete. Every other Superman nailed one aspect of the character. Like, for instance, Tom Welling's Superman nailed the Clark Kent aspect, but never really stuck the landing in regards to the Superman aspect. Um, Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve was one of them that was a little bit more rounded, but then his Superman kind of started to go off the rails towards the end. Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill nailed the Superman aspect, but I was never really invested in the Clark Kent side of his character. It never felt like his character had those small town Midwest values. Tyler Hoechlin is the perfect package. He's the perfect. I'm Clark Kent. My mom made this. Welcome to Smallville. These are all the people that I grew up with. I can't wait for the Miss Cornstalk fair. Like, he's nerdy about things that you would be nerdy about if you grew up in a small town. But at the exact same time, he's all about the values of going out and helping your neighbor, or going out and helping somebody just because they need help without wanting anything in any way, shape, or form from that. But then on the Superman side, he's truth, justice, American way. And that's fantastic. And I love that shit. I love the fact that there's a Superman that's bright, that he lands and he's like all smiles and like he exudes like this warmth and like this comfort. And I said that about the last episode where he fought Lex, about the fact that Smallville as a town was kind of coming to terms with the fact that Superman lives here. He grew up with us. I went to high school with Superman, or his mom used to watch my kids, or his mom and his dad used to invest a whole lot into the town, or hey, he used to work here at my bookshop when he was a kid, or he used to run errands for us when he was a kid. Like, he grew up around all of these people, and he'd been keeping this secret, this part of himself, away from all of them because he was afraid that essentially he was going to be taken away from his family. He was going to get thrown into some military detention Argus center, something along those lines. And even though he loved Smallville, it kind of tore him apart that he was never actually able to just come out and be like, boom, this is what I can do, baby. Him finally letting the world know. And I like that scene that we get again with the shopkeeper girl, where last episode he could hear her heart beating really, really fast. He's like, what the hell's going on? Like, what's happening? Why is everybody acting so weird around me? And then this episode, when like the plane's about to crash, he's like, oh, I forgot my wallet. I gotta step out right quick. And he steps out, and then he comes back 3 seconds later, and she turns around, looks at the TV screen, looks at him. She's like, whoa, I didn't expect you to come back so fast. He's like, what do you mean? And he had like a list of people that he had to go around to and talk to be like, no, I'm not Superman. I'm Clark Kent. Don't believe what you might or might not have seen. Like, sure, you may have seen Lois weeping over my body, but it wasn't actually me. We've had doppelgangers in this town before. Like, I like the fact that when he finally let go, when that fucking idiot came into the diner and like he has the gun. And in my mind, I was like, he has two options here. As fast as he's moving, with the bullet moving super slow towards him, he could just like move the bullet out of the way and have it hit the wall, right? But then I was like, nah, because Candace is back there. Can't just dodge and let the girl get hit by the fucking bullet. But then I was like, what if he just changes and you see him open up the chest and it's it's the S symbol and the bullet bounces off of him and everybody has like that moment of shock where it's like, holy shit, this dude is actually Superman. Sidebar. Let's let's go back about 15-20 minutes. Sir, what was the plan? Well, not only you when you came in, because shooting Clark Kent in the middle of a diner, if he was human, would definitely put you in jail. But then it was in front of your daughter. But then what if you fired at him and he was Superman? Like, I feel as though that would justify a Homelander moment where I get to laser off one limb. I definitely would have lasered off your arm. Like the sheer lunacy of this attack. But then the sheer other lunacy of the other attack of like the fucking jock guy that's like, Jonathan Kent, you ruined my life. I know your secret. I know who your dad is. I know what you actually are. Okay, so if he's the son of Superman, what makes you think you're gonna beat him in a fight? What makes you think that the second you don't throw that punch, he isn't gonna just send your ass to the fucking moon? Like, what? The bravery of these two was just astronomical. Like, Lex Luthor needs to hire both of them to be like his henchmen. Fearless. 100% fearless. Because there's no way in hell, if I know you have superpowers, I'm rolling up on you to test your gangster. Absolutely not. Sir, I heard that you may or may not be Superman. I just want to let you know, every negative thing I have ever said about you, I apologize. I apologize for it all right now. And I feel as though we can both go our separate ways amicably. And Mr. Clark Kent, Mr. Clark Kent, Superman, Clark Super, Man Kent, you enjoy the rest of your days here in Smallville, because I'm going to be moving to Central City, because I don't think I'd have this problem with the Flash. Like, I just didn't the idea behind both of those two idiots pulling up on like two of the most strongest peoples on the planet and thinking that they were gonna like box with them or hurt them in some type of way, shape, or form was hilarious. Him coming out to not only Smallville but the rest of the world. I like the fact that it loops back to Jimmy Olsen. Shout out to the fact that the first person to figure it all out was Jimmy Olsen, and Jimmy Olsen was just like, if you don't want to tell me, my boy don't gotta tell me. Like, that's a true homeboy right there, where like he knows your secret, but he's like, nah, he'll tell me his secret in his own time. It's not for me to expose. It's not for me to roll up and tell somebody else about. When Clark is ready, he'll let me know. And them hashing it out towards the end as he's revealing this to the entire world about who he is, absolutely great. Fucking love it. Not having Lex Luthor in this episode, I don't know, because Michael Cudlitz has been doing like a really, really good job as Lex. But I don't think he was needed for this episode. This episode squarely focused on Clark coming out to the world, letting the world know who he is. I'm Superman. I'm here. I'm just here to help. I grew up in the Midwest. You know, I'm just a simple farm boy American. Da 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 da. That's great. I love it. I don't think you need Lex Luthor to be like mean mugging. Like, you know, he be chilling in his penthouse, just he'd be on his phone, just, you know, he'd be angry. I don't think it really needed that. It's all about the emotional journey that Clark's going through. He died, literally. He was dead. He came back. He's trying to focus more on his family, do right more by them. He acknowledges his mistakes. He no longer wants to keep the secret anymore. He wants to be able to, like, you know, something pops off in the middle of Smallville, switch over to Superman, woof, fly off, come right on back and continue whatever the hell he was doing. Love it. Love it for his character. Love this episode, even though it wasn't action heavy. It brought the emotion and it brought the fucking drama. And I can't ever really complain about that. But let me know what you guys think about this last episode of Superman and Lois. Comment down below. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.